Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Today I Want to Be Career Exploration Interview. I'm your host, Martinique Brown. I'm so excited that you guys have decided to tune in to the show today. I'm really excited about our professional that we will be talking to today. Her name is Jess Archer, and she is a children's youth missions education strategist. That is a mouthful. And we are going to learn exactly what she does in her job as well. So now we also have our co-host here on the show, Asha, as well as Jaina. Jaina, I'm telling you, I've been trying to practice her name all day, and we are going to get it. But let me tell you about the purpose of this company and of the show. The reason why I created Today I Want to Be is because I was so frustrated in trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm not talking about frustration in my teenage years. I'm talking about in my 30s. And so I really wanted to focus on helping kids and youth just explore different career fields by helping them actually meet different individuals, different professionals in different careers so that they have an opportunity to ask them questions as well. So that is like the icing of the on the cake of my company, being able to talk to them. But another part of the company is we actually have products. So our products actually help kids and youth explore these career fields, and the link is in the description box of the different products we have. So now Jess and the other 12, the other 11 professionals that you guys have been watching, a lot of times me and Asha interview, they were the first. They are the cream of the crop. They were the ones that really just came alongside with me and really just helped me to make this idea just a reality. And so I told Jess, I just can't believe it's December. And I just really appreciate you, Jess, for just being a part of the calendar with me, and, just sticking it in with, because I know when I first asked you all, I'm like, okay, can you turn all the stuff in 3 weeks? And they were just so they were just so accommodating to like the deadlines and everything. And you guys that don't have any other products yet, you might be thinking like, what are you talking about? That's why you got to get the calendar. You got to get the calendar and the discovery cards, because it is so much more than just a calendar. We do have career goals. We have weekly goals for the kids and youth, as well as we have 3 things that makes them successful, as well as we have words of encouragement, because that's what our company is all about, helping young people know that they can do anything that they aspire to do. So we are going to start with Asha. Asha, can you tell the viewers just a little bit more about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Asha. I am a senior at Winter Park High School
Woo-hoo.
and a hopeful freshman at Louisiana State University.
So we haven't changed your mind yet, because the different professionals that Asha has interviewed was just like, well, you sure you don't want to go to such and such? So it's good you stuck your ground. um, so now, Asha, um, why are you interested in going to a school that is not in Florida?
Because I've grown up in Florida all my life. This is all I've known. Yes, I've traveled to different states and different places, but I think it's time to get out of home and go
Mm-hmm.
to a new atmosphere, go see some new things, and meet new people.
That is true.
So that's
And
why
you
I chose
definitely
LSU.
will. And you definitely will. I'm saying, like, just going away for college, in a different state, you just meet so many, unique people. And I came from the Midwest, and I went to a Southern school, UAPB to be exact. And I was like, these Southerners are so nice. That's why I'm here in Florida, because I just love the weather and everything. But one thing that I forgot to tell you guys, if you're tuning in, make sure that you go ahead and share this video now so that more people will know about Jess and her career, as well as make sure that get your kids, get your students, your nieces and nephews, as well as, your grandkids, because this is the opportunity that they have now to ask Jess questions about her career. And you can tune in from, or you can ask your questions from our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. We will not bite you, but if you're tuning in from any other page other than Today I Want to Be, please come over to one of those pages on Facebook or YouTube, and then I can actually relay those questions and comments to Jess as well. So now, what about you, Jana? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what grade you're in, and what do you want to be when you grow up?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jana Burrell, and I am 12 years old. I am in the seventh grade, and I'm homeschooled. And what I want to be when I grow up, I want to be an actress because I've been doing acting since I was 4 years old. I
Oh,
also
wow.
want to do dance and singing, so I want to be like a triple threat. That is just my dream, and I really want to work hard with God by my side and my parents and all
Yeah.
my family. Yes, that's me.
Now, I have a question for you. If you already know what you're interested in doing career
Hmm.
wise, why were you interested in interviewing Jess?
Well, I think like my mom, like she like signed me up, and I also do business on the side. So
Okay.
I it's also I have my own company, Pop
Uh-huh.
Surprise Co. So like when my mom was like, I signed you up for this, and I'm like, it's not like, oh, like you signed me up for this. It's like real. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know I was gonna be on the show. So
That's
I was
good.
like, I was excited. I was like, I'm gonna be a co-host. I'm like, so I was like excited to do that. I've never really like interviewed anyone besides like school wise, like for a
Hmm.
project, but so this is like maybe my second time doing this like
Yeah.
full fledged. So
I love it. Well, let me tell you something. Do not forget Martinique Brown, Asha Harris, and Jess Archer when you blow up. Okay? Now, when we message you on social media, don't act like you don't know us. So now, what about you, Jess? Tell the viewers just a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, my name is Jess Archer. I live and serve in Alexandria, Louisiana. I work for Louisiana Baptist Convention as a children and youth missions education strategist. So we're going to get into that in just a little bit, but
Yeah.
I have different hobbies. I love to read, exercise, hang out with friends, travel. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Love it, love it. So now me and Jess actually met each other back in, let me think for a minute. We met each other in about 2008. And Jess, you might not remember, but I remember. So we actually met at an ice cream social at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. We went to seminary together. And so I was just like, she's so pretty. But yeah, I'm so thankful that Jess is a part of the calendar as well as a part of the show. Because it's really always just a pleasure to talk to somebody that you went to school with. So, Asha, we're going to go ahead and start with you. You can go ahead with your first question.
Okay, my first question is, what was the motivation behind becoming a youth missions education strategist?
Yes. Okay, that is a very good question. When I was in college, I became a believer in Jesus Christ, and I was a sociology major. And then naturally, when you get to the end, I would say of your junior year, you start to think, well, what comes next? What should I do next? And I always knew I wanted to go further in my education career. So as I was praying and talking to the Lord revealed to me that I needed to further my education at seminary in New Orleans. So um, that was basically a main motivation, the furthering of my education and the Lord leading me that way. So I got a degree in urban missions at the seminary. So sociology major, then urban missions for my master's degree.
So now what type of careers can a sociology major have?
Okay, you can go on to get your master's degree so you can teach. You can be a social worker. You can work in a variety of fields with that degree. A lot of people go on to get their master's degree just to have a little bit more education, a little bit more flexibility in just the areas that they can serve. So you can do anything in the social services, you can work in schools, you can work in the hospitals, you can do different kinds of things. But I would always encourage someone to just further their education. And you
But
have
is
more.
sociology just focused on getting to know like a person, or like what does it focus on?
Yes, basically the study of people and cultures, anthropology, the studying of human interactions, and basically that's what it is.
Yeah,
So
and it seemed like that would really go hand in hand with what you're doing now, because you're all about, talking to people and getting to know them and things like that. So now I know that you mentioned urban missions. Explain to viewers what that is.
yes, urban missions is the study of cities and understanding missions. So, missions is the work of God through the church, the universal church, by which believers in Jesus Christ share God's word and deed. So, telling other people about Jesus and then doing missions, service, action, and telling people about who he is. So it's basically what I do. That's what I studied for 4 years at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, and just had a great time studying and a great time getting to meet people and discovering what God had and wants me to do.
Yeah. And I think that the surprising thing is that it took 4 years. Why does a master's degree take so long? Because that's like another undergrad. You be thinking, oh my gosh.
Some master's degrees only take 2 years. This one was about 4 years, and it was intense study. And it was I had a wonderful time. We studied hard, also met lots of people. We were able to serve with one another while we were there.
Right.
So it was a mixture of all of that combined. I served on church staff and did all that good stuff. So
Well, that's just experience. I enjoy everybody I've met in seminary, but the work, I could have did without. That's how I feel about every school though. Cause I'm like, if I don't have to go to classes, see, that's why I'm not like a super student. That's why, because I was like, I like just meeting the people.
I did have fun too, and I could see how the work and the study is helping me now currently. So I'm able to apply what I've learned to what I do now.
So now what about you, Jana? What's your first question?
Okay, so my question is, so I'm 12 years old, so what would you tell your 12-year-old self about planning for this career? What would you tell your 12-year-old self?
Okay. So I know at 12 years old, I know you're beginning to think in that realm. I always start off by saying, if I had to talk to myself at 12 years old, I would always start off by saying, trust your future to God.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yes. He knows you, me, everybody else more than we know ourselves.
Yes.
Sometimes our career might be this one day and that the next, and that's fine. But we know our future is in God's hands. Yes. I would also say find a trusted mentor. Maybe someone in the community, or someone at your school, or someone in your social circle, or someone at church, someone who can mentor you, who is maybe already in the field that you're interested in. That person may have some insight. That person can help steer you in the direction that you want to go. That person's going to hold a wealth of knowledge. Also, I would also say this: start serving where you are right now. If you're maybe serving out in the community, or you're serving in your local church, age, at 12 years old, you're not too young to serve. So I would say maybe find a place now and then start to serve. And then, so yeah, those are the basic things that I would tell myself if I were 12 years old.
Okay, thank you so much. That's wonderful.
So now, Jess, do you see yourself sometimes, thinking about what you did when you were younger, like maybe where you served at in church, and then it's totally different from what you do now. Like maybe you served in the children's ministry, with the little kids, and now you're just more so working with the youth and older children.
Yes. So when I was younger, I was a part of a youth group, and we did a few things together, and we did retreats. I went on retreats, but I don't think I gave my future career much thought.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of said, well, I'll go to the university, and then
Yeah.
I'll think about it when I get there, more about my career. And then once I got to the university, I said, well, maybe I want to be a teacher, but I knew after a year of taking those courses, I wanted to change over into something else, which was sociology. So
Mm.
I never thought about it, about my future career, more than about 4 years at a time.
Okay.
So, but looking back, I never thought that I would be here, but it is absolutely my favorite job of my life. What I
That's
do now,
good.
I love it. I
That's
love
good.
it.
And
Yes.
and that's actually one of my requirements for people that want to be a part of Today I Want to Be. So that really just gives me a segue. If you truly enjoy what you do, please DM me or just email us. And our contact information is in the description box. But email me if you're interested in being featured, because I want kids and youth to be passionate about their job and love their job like Jess does. Because as adults, we always hear people talking about, oh, I can't wait till Friday. But just imagine living a life like that. Always just waiting for the weekend because you don't go to work. I mean, that's so like discouraging for a young person. And so I'm just here to show y'all that people can truly enjoy what they do for a living, because like Jess said, God created us and he knows exactly how he created us and he knows what career he wants us to go into. So Asha, what's your next question?
What attracted you to your seminary of choice?
Yes. Okay, so I went to school in New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. So I grew up not far from New Orleans. So naturally, I was thinking about places closer to home, but I was not opposed to moving away. So being that the seminary was close to home, another one was I love New Orleans. New Orleans is
Mm.
my absolute favorite city. I've traveled many places in the world, and New Orleans is still my favorite. And then also, New Orleans had my specific degree that I wanted,
Mm.
urban missions. They had that degree. So those three things naturally led me to pursuing, furthering my education and degree there.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I specifically chose New Orleans, also seminary, just because. So I graduated with a specification in collegiate ministry, and so many times a lot of seminaries just had youth ministry, but I was like, no, I specifically want college students, and so I think that that's a great point that you made, that it specifically had Um, that degree program that you're interested in. So what's your next question, Jana?
Yes, my next question is, what else would you be doing as a career if you didn't choose this one?
Okay. So I'm thinking about that question, and I would say it would have to be, if I didn't have this specific career,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it would be working in the church somehow, or another one, which is also fun, is maybe being a tour guide, but leading,
Really?
yeah, leading people on different like mission trips. Like,
Okay.
Oh,
so a tour guide leading people on mission trips, and then maybe a little vacation at the end, depending on where we would go. So
oh,
I was born traveling, so those two. So
yes.
See now, just you have opened up something new because the reason why I started this company is because in my 30s I heard for the first time about a career. And I'm like, I have never heard about that job. So talk to us a little bit about people that would lead mission trips. People get paid for that?
yes, you can. So I know in some churches, basically larger churches, you have you have either a mission strategist or a missions pastor or a missions leader who it's their job to prepare the people of the church who are going on that particular mission trip to tell others about Jesus. So they train the group, they teach the group, and then they lead the people on that mission team. They lead them to that field of service. So they do that. And then also outside of the church, whether it's a parachurch organization, so like a nonprofit, you also have people that lead mission groups to different places around the world. So you can either do it inside of the church with the local church body, or you can do it outside of the church, still a part of the church, in that nonprofit organization, and leading people in those areas.
Yeah, that's
And then
good.
you also have like the tour guide who leads people on different vacations, but it's not affiliated with like a mission trip. So you have different careers and roles that you can still, serve the Lord. You can also lead people to doing what God's called them to do. So, yeah.
So when you talked about the tour guide, are you saying that you would just be like, maybe you worked for a travel agency or something, so you would like to also, if you wasn't a mission education strategist, you would like to be that tour person that just takes
That
people?
would be fun.
So cute.
I've planned vacation travel trips for friends of mine. We've taken girls trips and things like that. And somehow or another, I was always put to be in charge of planning it. Like,
Gotcha.
Jess, you plan where we're going to be each day, or you plan this or that. So I'm naturally a planner. That's what I do a lot on every day at work. So it's just a talent that I have, so I can, get to work and do it. So
Yeah, gotcha. So what's your next question, Asha?
Okay. What all does your job entail?
okay. So, like Martinique was saying earlier, I'm a children and youth missions education strategist. I know that's a mouthful and a very, very long title, but basically, I help leaders in the church in the area of missions for children's groups and youth groups. So, if a leader is wanting resources in the area of missions, if they're wanting their youth and their children to understand what it means to pray for missions, go on mission trips, learn about missions, and learn about how God is at work all around the world. And I gave that missions definition earlier. So I help to be a resource to those churches and to those leaders. I can help train the leaders. I can, I teach in different places. I serve in different places. And then I also get them the tools that they need so that they're successful in the areas of their church. So yeah, so we do that. I do that. I also plan events. So I plan camp for children, first through sixth grade. I also plan one-day mission events for kids in first through sixth grade. I also train other mission leaders here in Louisiana and then also in different states. So we partner together and train mission leaders. So basically, what it boils down to, it's helping leaders in the church understand God's commission, the Great Commission. If we are a believer in Jesus Christ, we ought to teach others the good news of Jesus Christ. And we, you know, we go here in the state, and we go all around the world, we in the nation. So we help others understand everybody has a role. If you're a believer, you have a role to teach others about Jesus. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what I do: speak, train, lead, and teach.
That's
In
good,
the
yes.
area of missions.
So you have a lot of traveling.
Yes.
All around Louisiana, right?
Yes. Yes. I travel in Louisiana for work, and then I also travel around the U.S. for work, and then I've done mission trips in different parts of the world, and then I've also vacationed in different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I really didn't know that you partner with other states. I always thought it was just Louisiana
Yes.
and that,
Yes.
that's
So
it.
I do work for Louisiana Baptist Convention, and like you're from Florida, there's the Florida Baptist Convention through the network of Southern Baptist churches. So we all partner together, and then in
Gotcha.
our state we have over 1,600 Louisiana Southern Baptist churches. So we all network and partner together. So it's one big family.
Mm-hmm. But one last question for you. It just seems, especially since you said the number of churches there are, that seems like a lot.
Yes.
What does your team look like?
Yes. Okay. So at the at Louisiana Baptist Convention, we have a great, awesome team. Okay. So we have our executive director. We have our strategists, who are people who go out into the field to help resource and help put tools into the church's hands. And then we also have a network of amazing ministry assistants who are like secretaries, and they do a wonderful job in helping us, helping the strategists and just helping to make, everything function together as one big whole. So so I'd say it's about 70 of us who work
Wow.
at the building where I work. So it's amazing work. Everybody serves with their whole heart. So it's awesome.
Yeah. So what's your next question, Jana?
Okay, so my next question is, what is your favorite book and why? Like, is it like a bit something to do with your career, or is it just something else?
Okay.
Could you let me know?
Yes. So I have two. My first one is the title is called Fine China is for Single Women Too. So I'm a single woman. So it talks about contentment in the Lord, allowing the Lord to minister to you in whatever season He has you in. So I love that book. I highly recommend it to everyone who's in a season like mine. And then also, I have another book, and it kind of fits in the area of sociology. It's called The Color Complex. And it talks about skin color, it talks about race, and it talks about sociology in America.
Oh, wow.
It's an eye opener. I love it. I read this book, I believe, the early part of my college career, and I still have the book. Sometimes I'll still flip through it, but it's very, very interesting. I think all of you would enjoy reading that book. And this is all in addition to the Bible, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So now we do have a question on the floor. And Songwriter Stitch, thank you so much for tuning in. We also have Jana's mom tuning in, Chrissy. Chrissy, thank you so much for tuning in as well. If you're just now tuning in, you are watching Today I Want to Be Career Exploration interview. And we have our Children's Youth Missions Education Strategist, Jess Archer, who we are talking to today about her specific career. So now Songwriter Stitch was thinking that you're an education specialist. Tell her just in 30 seconds what you do, because her question is, as an education specialist, do you mainly focus on introducing kids to careers that require college? No, songwriter Stitch, this is what Jess is going to tell you.
Okay, so basically what I do in my career is in the area of missions, I equip leaders in the churches to introduce their children and their youth to missions. So missions is the work of God through the church, by us sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ to all people on the earth. So I am a resource, and I put tools in their hands, curriculum pieces, tools in their hands to teach that to the kids and youth in their church.
That's good.
So mission education. So if
That's
they've
good.
heard of Sunday school, it's like that, but missions.
So what's your next question, Asha?
So in your description, you said that you have life groups. So I just wanted to know what are some of the things that you discuss within those life groups?
So at my church, we call it life groups. Some churches may call it Bible study groups. Some churches may call it Sunday school. We call it life groups because we are basically doing life together. So I have a life group that I help to lead, and it's women in their 20s and 30s. In this life group, we study the Bible, we pray, we serve together, we share our different joys, we share our different struggles, and then we just come together as a family of about 8 women, and we just enjoy each other. We encourage each other in the Lord. We seek to grow closer to the Lord as we are studying the scripture and studying our particular Bible study that we're going through at that particular time. So it's basically family with women from our church. So we have multiple groups, but I just lead that one.
That's good. So now, Jess, can you talk to us about just being an African American missions education, well, children's youth missions education strategist? Are there many of us in that field? What does it look like for you?
I would say, like I said earlier, I love my job dearly. I would say there are not many African Americans in this particular role that I serve in. Now, there are the denomination I'm a part of, Southern Baptist Convention. I would say it's diverse. You know, we do have different ethnic groups that represent the convention as a whole, but I would say people who do work like I do, like counterparts, I would say it's not many. But I do have hope that that's changing. You know, I see other African Americans serving in other areas of the church and the convention. So I see that slowly changing, and I see that I'm not held back in any way. I see there's great opportunities for people coming up who are coming behind me and on the side of me. I see that there's great opportunities. So, and I say that there's always room for more. It's always room for more African Americans to come alongside and serve. So yes.
How did that give you confidence, though, to still go after what you wanted, even without seeing a lot of people that look like you?
I knew it was something that the Lord was calling me to. So I knew without a doubt He was calling and He was directing my path and ordering my steps. I know that being in the denomination and being in the church work, I have to be able to serve all kinds of ethnic groups and groups of people. So I wanted to go in there with an open mind and just being a leader and saying, how can I serve you? And then also, like in this interview, if there's a child who maybe comes to camp, or if there's a child who comes to a one-day missions event that we plan, or maybe there's a leader in the church that says, hey, just come and talk to our kids about serving on mission and what all that means. I want them to be able to see that maybe a person that looks like them can do the same thing they may want to do in the future. So they have someone who's, oh, I look like her.
Yeah.
Do that too, you know?
That is
Yes.
so true. That is so true. So now what's your next question, Jana?
Okay, so my next question is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to a person that's like considering any type of career? It can be this business like that you're doing. It can be anything else. Just what advice would you give?
Yes. I would ask that person, I would start off with a question. I would ask that person, what are your gifts and what are your talents? And if money was not the issue, would you still be doing this career? You know, would you, if money's not the issue, what is the career that you want to do? You know, take money off the
Okay.
table. What is something that you want to do? And then where are your gifts and your talents? And then that
Oh,
all lies on that's the foundation though is, well, what does God want you to do? Because he created you. So what does he say about all of this? And then figure out where your talents and gifts are, and then what's a career you'd want to do if you wouldn't get paid. So that's how you know, oh, I'd really like to do this.
Mhm.
very good. Thank you.
So Asha, I have a question for you, and this is going to come to you all as well, Jana. Remind the viewers what you would like to be when you grow up. Um, but if money was not an issue, like Jess said, why did you choose that career as well?
Okay, so if money was not an issue, if like I
First,
didn't
tell
have
them.
to,
First, tell them what you want to be.
oh well, I want to be a sports medicine doctor.
Uh-huh.
So that goes into two different deals. I can go into family practice, which means I deal with family, kids, and all of that, or I can go into orthopedics, and I just mostly deal with issues with athletes when they come in with tears and ligaments and or strains in muscles,
Mm-hmm.
or they they broke some, they just had surgery, or if they need to get surgery. Like that is what I would do.
Yeah.
um if I'm interested in it because I like the body. The body is a very complicated thing, and so
Mm-hmm.
I just like the little nicks and quirks of it. Plus I don't really like working for other people,
Yeah.
so being the top head person where you have to come to me if you
Uh-huh.
want to play, yeah, I like that. But if money wasn't a issue, I would honestly say I would probably be a spokesperson.
Really?
Yes, I would not go into being a doctor at all. I would probably be a spokesperson because I feel for my age that I am very mature and I have a lot of knowledge about life that I could share with others who may be my age, who may be younger, and those who may even be older. So that's probably what I would do.
But when you say a spokesperson, do you mean um like a motivational speaker? Like what do you mean by a spokesperson? Do you represent an organization? What do you think?
Um, More of like a motivational speaker,
Okay.
a person who really you just, if you want to hear about life, just come to me.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I think that not think, but and you can chime in too, Jess. But you can do both. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to so many people, especially like authors, where they not only wrote a book, but they're a motivational speaker, and they're representing their brand. And then sometimes when their brand, maybe they write about just self-confidence. Another company that has members that is all about encouraging or building self-confidence, they'll bring them on board to also speak. So you could be multifaceted. You could do all of that stuff. And I just hope that you never limit yourself to just, once you become your sports medicine doctor, you don't just limit yourself to that. And so many times people will just put you in a box. They'll be like, girl, you a doctor. You can't be drawing. You know what I'm saying? So like don't put yourself in a box regardless of what people say, because it's about your interests. But what would you say about that, Jess?
Whenever she was talking about it, Asha was talking about it, I was thinking, I wonder, it kind of sounds like a life coach too. Like a
Mm-hmm.
life coach is not a therapist, but a life coach helps people in just their walk through life, you
Yeah.
know. So, you know, you hear that word pretty often of people becoming a certified life coach. So they're not a therapist, they don't have the degrees that a therapist has, but it's something kind of like what you just described. You know,
Mm-hmm.
motivational speaker, I think of, you know, person, you know, speaking in front of lots of audiences and things like that. And I know you're probably good at that. But even a life coach, you know, meeting with different people, wanting to set
Mm-hmm.
goals and things.
That's true. That's true. So now what about you, Jana? I know that you mentioned that you want to be an actress. If money was not an interest and you want to be a triple threat, so you want to be, I think you said dancer and
Yes, actress, singer, dancer. Yes.
yes. So now if money was not an option, is that still the career path you would go?
Yes, that is because I know like I'm thinking about the money that it will make, but I also that has always been my dream to be an actress because I am very sassy. I'm very bold.
Uh-huh.
I talk a lot, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's just like I've just really been wanting to be an actress since like ever since I started. I It's just been a dream of mine. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to give that up even for the money. Like
Yeah.
I just that's what I want to do.
That's good. That's good. And so many times now we're just seeing um, more and more Black women, you know, on the big screen, having leading roles and things like that. So I just really hope that you stay encouraged in that. So, Asha, what's your next question?
Okay, I'm gonna switch it up because I had
Okay,
another question in mind,
no
but I'm gonna
worries.
ask this one off the fly. So, what advice would you give to a young person who is looking to strengthen their connection with God?
Yes. Yes. I would first start off by saying to that person that God loves you unconditionally. He has a plan for your life and he desires that you come into a personal relationship with him through Jesus Christ, his son, Jesus Christ. And the thing that I would also tell a young person is that, you know, the Lord's plans for a person who surrenders their life to Christ, the Lord will take you in places you just can't even fathom. To a person who's fully surrendered to the Lord can do anything that he wants. Nothing is impossible with him. So I would say to you and to all the other listeners, give your life to the Lord. You know, it's amazing what the Lord can do with your life. And that's what I would say. You know, I've seen the Lord's work in my own life, and there are things that I'm like, Lord, I didn't even know to even pray about that.
Mm-hmm.
And you allowed me to take part in it.
Yeah.
So
So what, Jess, what are some of the practical things that people can do, you know, to grow in that relationship?
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
I would say first off, a person who has a relationship with the Lord, start off by spending time with God. You know,
mhm,
we love spending time with our best friends. That's how we grow in a relationship with a best friend or with a spouse or whoever.
yeah.
But spend time with the Lord. That's where we're going to know him. We're going to get
Mhm,
to know him intimately. We spend time with him through studying the Bible and through prayer. I would say get involved with the local church. Get involved with the local church who can help you understand the ways and things of God. You know, we live in a world where it we're going to have some hard times and some difficulties and some suffering, but getting in the local church body, they're going to be able to help you.
yeah.
um, find people who are maybe a little bit older than you, someone who can mentor you. I would say someone who's a trusted person, a trusted believer, preferably a woman who can mentor you, just in the things of the Lord, and then also maybe in your career path, so I would say do that as well. And then also, so Bible study, prayer, mentorship, and just say, Lord, my life is on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do whatever it is you want me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then being fully surrendered, the Lord will take you places you never thought possible.
Yeah. And I know that Asha, you're about to go to college. One thing that really helped me with growing in my relationship with Christ was becoming a part of a youth ministry on like a collegiate ministry on campus. So I was a part of the Baptist Collegiate Ministry, and it was also Southern Baptist in Arkansas. And that was the first time that I really got to meet students my age that had a desire to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing where, your friend be like, oh yeah, I love Jesus. But then, they just live their life any type of way. You know what I'm saying? So this was the first time that I saw people my age. And that was like really helpful because they're struggling with the same things I'm struggling with. And, I could relate to them a lot more because they were my age. And so, now my ninth grade year, I wasn't involved in it, because this was a new world to me. I wasn't in the house no more, but my 10th grade year and on, I had to think about like, Martinique, the way you live in is not on the same path of the decision you made to follow, Jesus Christ. And so I had to look at how I was living compared to what my decision to be a Christian was. And because it wasn't matching up, I was like, Martinique, you got to get together. I strongly encourage you to, I know that LSU, I actually did my internship at LSU's BCM, and the BCM stands for Baptist Collegiate Ministry. But it is just a body of collegiates that is really just focused on serving the Lord, but in a real way. You know what I'm saying? And so you can just really relate to them so much more when it's a college group that's walking alongside with you, like in it. Um, but what's your next question, Jana?
Okay, so my next question is, this is like a fun question. So, like, where is your favorite place to vacation and why?
Okay. So, I love that question. It's a hard one though. I would say favorite place to vacation is somewhere at the beach in the Caribbean. So I've been to multiple countries in the Caribbean, and any place with sand, blue water, and my beach umbrella, I'm fine. I can sit out there all day and listen to the waves. If I have my music, my umbrella, all that. So yes, anywhere that'll take me to those places. So I wouldn't say one specific country because it's like they're all equal in that one way, you know. So I've been multiple places. So anywhere in the Caribbean, I'd say.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Now, Jess, you're going to kill me, but I live right here in Florida, and I'm going on like my 4th year, and I have not been to the beach yet. Wow.
Whoa.
I know, because the beach is not a big thing to me. And maybe because I didn't grow up, okay, I'm from Ohio. So maybe because I didn't grow up with the beach. So I'm like,
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm glad I'm back in your good graces, Asha.
You have to go to the beaches and you have to go to the springs. Really 2 beautiful places, especially the springs. You get to see the manatees. If you do a glass boat trip, you just get to see like natural. Yeah, you just get to see natural wildlife. Like you just get to see animals be animals. So,
yes.
yeah.
But I would say if I lived anywhere near a beach, like if I lived, let's just throw out Pensacola or something because it's in Florida. If I lived in Pensacola, I would probably go and just take a Saturday if I lived there. I'm just saying that because I don't live there, but
Yeah.
I would get a book, a beach umbrella, get my chair, and just sit and listen to the waves and read a good book.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like a relaxing Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
See, I'm thinking about my dreads. I'm like, I don't want to get no
Oh,
sand all
you
in my dreads.
have to jump in the water.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking
Just
about the wrong thing. Well, Jess, I am definitely thankful that you've been here on the show. But I do have one question for you. What is one challenging thing, and what is one thing that you really enjoy about your job?
one challenging thing, I would say you have to be careful with time management. So that would be a challenge. You just have to make sure you balance everything. I do travel a lot, like when I said earlier that I lead, train, speak, and teach. So
Mhm.
I do travel a lot, and it does take me to different. My travel schedule does take me to different places. So you just have to make sure that you are balancing your schedule. With free time, work time, hanging out time, getting
Mhm.
your rest. And then the fun part is I'm naturally an extrovert, so I love to be around people. So when I can be around people, I thrive. When I can
Mm,
travel, I thrive. But I thrive even more when I'm around people.
that's
So yeah.
good. That's good. So now, Asha and Jana, I definitely thank you guys for also, being great co-hosts and asking just some awesome questions. To make sure you, as the viewers, I also want to thank y'all for tuning in, but make sure that you continue to share this video now so that
Thank you.
more young people will have the opportunity to explore Jess's career field, which is a children's youth missions education strategist. Also, don't forget to check out our products that we have, and they are listed in the description box. They are all career exploration products. You'll love them. But don't take my word for it. Make sure you click on that link so you can check them out as well. If you are a young person and you're interested in becoming a co host, make sure you go ahead and email me or send me a DM as well for that. And then also, and I see your hand, but also make sure that you all, if you love what you do and you're interested in being featured in 2020 products, I'm looking for Black women, Black men, and we're going to be adding on Hispanic women. So if you fit in any of those three categories, make sure you reach out to me as well. So, Jana, last
Okay.
word. What's your last word?
I just wanted to tell Miss Jess, thank you for your feedback for our questions, and you are a really encouraging person. Thank you for you. We need people like you in this world just to help and share the word of God. So I just want to thank you for just everything that you have done with us today. So thank you.
Oh,
So
that's
much,
good.
Asha. Thanks so much, Martinique, for having me come on.
You are welcome. And we will talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Bye.